Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Dan Shore. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. An island-wide power outage temporarily leaves Saipan in the dark. A police officer is in custody for assault with a dangerous weapon. A potential relative of ours arrives home. Welcome to Saipan. Also tonight, in sports, Kansas City does baseball and barbecue just right. Sports tonight is all about takeout. So stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
We can't wait to welcome you back. Beginning October 16th, the doors of Miyako will reopen. Alongside the tranquil ocean and vibrant gardens inside the former Hyatt, Miyako will offer 2 weekday seatings for a special Japanese lunch buffet. Make your reservations Monday through Friday by calling 670-488-1000 and indulge in authentic dishes, including fresh, never frozen salmon and tuna. Make new memories at an old favorite. Make it special. Make it Miyako.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. 2 chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on a sesame seed bun. 2 all beef patties, 2 chicken patties, lettuce, 2 chicken patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, sesame seed bun. 2 delicious patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
It's not a Big Mac. It's the Chicken Big Mac. Get it while you can.
Criminal charges have been filed against a police officer for unholstering his police-issue firearm at a suspect during a domestic abuse incident in Susupe.
According to police, on January 21, 2024, Officer Troy Monahane pointed his firearm to threaten a person identified as a suspect in a domestic dispute. After attempting to elude the officers during a domestic abuse stop, the accuser claims that Officer Monahane had him safely in the back of his police vehicle when the officer pointed his gun at him, causing him to fear for his life. The officer's partner later corroborated the accuser's story. Close to 10 months later, a warrant was issued for the officer's arrest. DPS Commissioner Anthony Macaranas has stated, quote, DPS would like to assure the public that we take allegations of police misconduct extremely seriously. This type of allegation is unacceptable and will not be tolerated in our department, unquote. Monahane has been charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and disturbing the peace. Bail is set for $10,000 and the defendant has been remanded into custody. Preliminary hearing will be October 16.
For those of you with relatives in the central Gulf region of Florida, Hurricane Milton, fresh on the heels of Hurricane Helene 2 weeks ago, is expected to make landfall on Wednesday night Eastern Standard Time. It is projected to bring up to 15-foot storm surges and 150-mile-an-hour winds. Experts are predicting dangerous conditions, and all residents have been urged to evacuate. As for us here in the Pacific, our weather is quite nice, thank you. Case in point, power is restored after another island-wide blackout.
This morning, the island woke without the assistance of electric alarm clocks due to a power outage on engine number 6. CUC Executive Director Kevin Watson.
We had engines number 6 and number 3 on, and number 6 shut down for no apparent reason yet. That's still under investigation. It didn't indicate a fault. So normally it would indicate a fault and we would be able to assess what went wrong. So they're still doing that assessment.
How long did it last?
We were able to get the first feeder back online within 30 minutes.
What time was it?
It happened about 7:30.
Okay.
And within 30 minutes we had the first feeder back on, and then that is in orderly fashion to bring the whole island back on. And within an hour and a half from the time it shut down, we were fully restored island-wide.
Just last week, Executive Director Watson attempted to order a state of emergency request to the federal government for new power generators. The CUC board suggested against it. The older generators may continue to occasionally falter.
I can't say it won't happen. We are doing what we can to prevent it from happening, and we are in the process of putting out an RFP to lease some generators.
Okay. So the state of emergency that you asked for was rejected by the board. How does that feel to you? Do you agree with that, or are you just going with?
I have to go with what the vote is and what the decision is. And we also abide by the CPUC. As you may be aware, we have a protest on the gensets that we want to purchase. And until that plays out, it's the process. We CPUC, the Commonwealth Public Utility Commission, will not approve the contract going forward.
The director wants to assure the island that they are doing what they can with what they have.
CUC is there for the public. It's our goal and desire to provide reliable power at the least cost that's possible.
A minister in training returns from a Bible study course in the Philippines. Welcome to Saipan. And a cultural historian speaks out about Latte stones in a Humanities preview.
If you're a person with a disability in the Sinamay, you have certain rights that protect your ability to vote. This video contains some information about your rights and some resources available to you in protecting those rights.
What are some of your voting rights as a person with a disability? You have the right to vote regardless of your disability. You have the right to cast your vote privately without disclosing your vote to anyone. But you also have the right to ask for assistance as needed. Polling place workers should be ready and available to assist and accommodate your needs. CNMI law requires that you must be registered to vote in the CNMI. You can vote if you are a citizen or national of the United States, at least 18 years of age on the date of the election, domiciled in the CNMI, a resident of the CNMI, and have resided in the Commonwealth for 120 days, are not serving a sentence for a felony, have not been declared by the court of unsound mind, and have registered to vote at least 60 days before the election.
As a voter with a disability, you have the right to vote in an accessible voting place. That means you can get from your car through the door to cast your ballot without physical barriers or impediments.
Under the CNMI law, any voter who needs help in casting a ballot is entitled to request for assistance. A poll supervisor or the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Election Commission can provide assistance at the polling place, or you can exercise your right to curbside vote. However, whether you vote at curbside or not is your choice. No poll worker can force you to vote curbside. If you are unable to mark your ballot, you may select up to 2 people to help you cast your vote, except that they cannot be your employer or your employer's agent.
The Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 requires public entities to provide progress access, reasonable modification of policy, auxiliary aids, and service where necessary to afford an individual with a disability an equal opportunity to participate in and enjoy the benefits of the services, program, or activity being conducted by the public entity.
Our primary goal is to have 100% participation of eligible voters in all elections, 100% polling place accessibility, and options for all voters who seek independent and private voting. If you want to know more about your voting rights, please contact the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated at 670-235-7273 or 74, or you can simply visit our website at www.nmpasi.org.
This video was brought to you by the Administration for Community Living and does not necessarily reflect their official views.
The king is back like prodigal. I've been gone. I gave him time. It's been too long. Politic. If I want it, I'ma get mine. Never fake the funk. Can't perform for your empire. Snatch him out the throne. Make them all fall in line. I let the clock tick. Count down. Cause I'm on the headline. The deadline. I'm ahead time. The rare kind. I'm a living legend. Lethal weapon. Master minor. Big time.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Welcome back. Saipan International is a place where visitors arrive to explore new vistas, to work, or to gratefully return home. Welcome to Saipan.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Can I have your name, please?
Mr. Mamerto Arboliras.
Mr. Arboliras is returning to Saipan.
From Guam.
Were you there visiting family?
No, we are hospital, referral. I am escort.
Originally from Mindanao, Philippines, he has lived with his family on Saipan for 35 years, and he is glad to be back home.
Yes, of course. Because he's done his operation already.
Russell Vicente is returning home from a 3-month Bible study course with Jehovah's Witnesses in the Philippines.
We were there for in our school, about 2 months. I'm actually a resident of Saipan, but we were there to receive a special training, not only to, learn about God, but also to improve our relationships with others and those in the community.
Russell is training to be a minister.
Yeah, that would be correct. That would be correct. Yeah, so we get the training to go out and get assigned to special fields, maybe preach in languages that people don't really talk in, but we really want to reach people with the message of God's word.
He was not the only Marianas Islander there.
We had people from the UK, we had people from Spain, we had people from Australia, and then we had also people from the other islands like Guam, but also people from Marshalls like Ebay. So really all over the place. Oh yeah, it was really, really international. It was really a great experience.
Russell feels part of the international community, though he was born on Saipan.
Oh, I'm Filipino. Yeah, but born and raised here, so I'm pretty much Saipanese.
And he has this to say about his Saipan community.
It's a really wonderful place, a lot of beautiful things to do, a lot of wonderful people, so, please come down to Saipan, I guess. And, and if you ever get a chance to speak to one of Jehovah's Witnesses, please talk to them.
Stephanie has just returned from a trip to Guam, where she was visiting her boyfriend in the military.
I guess when I was in Guam, I had a little bit more fun. There's nightlife and everything. But here, it's kind of hard to do that, considering the age. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say to your family, your friends, boyfriend?
To my boyfriend, I miss you.
Sin is arriving from our sister island of Guam.
Came to Saipan for a business trip. Do some work with the local businesses and hopefully get everything good.
Do you mind if I ask what kind of business it is?
We do fire protection, so we're going to be doing some inspections and testings.
He's making sure equipment on our island is up to code. He says this is what Guam has that Saipan doesn't.
Being more modern, having more shopping malls that came up recently. Yeah, restaurants, I guess.
I know a lot of people talk about that donkey store.
Yeah, Donkey's cool. Yeah, it's open 24 hours, and they got some good stuff from Japan.
Sin actually may have family here on Saipan.
I think I do, yeah. Not originally from here, but I got some family that relocated here.
Hey, Saipan, if this young man looks like you, he may be your cousin.
Family from Saipan. If you see this, I miss you guys, I guess.
This week on your Humanities Half-Hour, our host, Catherine Perry, discusses Latte stones.
In this week's Humanities Half-Hour, cultural historian Genevive Cabrera enlightens us about a latte stone's shape, size, purpose, meaning, and origins.
There is a Chamorro term, Latte, and that's how we pronounce it. We refer to them as the Atsu Latte, not Latte, but Latte. The Chamorro term, Latte, is a reference to a scab on a wound that's healing, and you've got a layer of skin, hardened skin, just before it fully heals.
Cabrera and host Catherine Perry share where you can find latte stones in Saipan that are in plain sight.
Practice respect when you go in there, because when you do go in there and you let yourself be open to the ancestors and what these sites represent, you can feel them. It's just a very, very different feeling. It's like coming home when you go to these sites. That's how I always feel when I access these sites. And they will show you, our ancestors will show you with every visit, they will reveal something that you didn't see during that first or second or third visit.
Your Humanities Half-Hour premieres right here on Channel 2, Thursday night at 7 p.m.
And in sports, baseball and barbecue, like bat and ball, can't have one without the other.
fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month, plus a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
Motivation isn't always easy to come by. Thankfully, there's one place that continues to ignite my willpower. This one place provides me with the knowledge and support I need to grow, so I can continue to become a better version of myself. This is where I discovered my passion, where I achieved successes that made me proud. It's home. It's where I improved my performance, seeing the opportunity in every challenge. And when doubt creeps inside and I think about giving up, I remember the heroes who've also called this place home. And just like them, I know that every last rep is always a beginning. No matter how hard it gets, nothing can stop me. I will always come back stronger because I'm part of a legacy.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas, sports fans. It's October, and that means baseball playoffs in the major leagues are underway. Tonight, our Chris Nelson takes us on a road trip to Kansas City, where legends like Satchel Paige and Jackie Robinson can be appreciated. Before digging in at some famous Kansas City barbecue, you're going to take out on this next story.
Baseball is America's game, America's pastime. Baseball, apple pie, and maybe some barbecue go pretty well together. Baseball is our island's game too. Epic battles between local teams and, better yet, regional battles with Palau, Guam, and the Federated States of Micronesia. NMI, the defending gold medal champions of the Pacific. Saipan has its share of barbecue too. There isn't anything much better than a local baseball game followed by a barbecue at the beach. Baseball is filled with facts and figures and history, and the best players in the mainland are recognized here in Cooperstown, New York, at the Baseball Hall of Fame. These days, MLB has the best players in the entire world, from Japan, Korea, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, even Palau. But it wasn't always this way. Baseball history, just like America's history, is complicated. For many years, some of the best players weren't allowed to play at the highest levels of baseball. It was known as the color barrier, and it lasted until 1947 and beyond. Many of those baseball players are recognized here in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Negro League Baseball Museum, not far from the current home of the Kansas City Royals, hosting the New York Yankees this week in playoff baseball. The Negro Leagues were one of the biggest black businesses in the country, stretched from New York to Florida, west to Milwaukee, and south to Houston. At the entrance of the museum, James Earl Jones narrates a history of the league.
It pitted the best of the East against the best of the West, and more than 20,000 fans attended.
Buck O'Neil was one of the big-name players. He played the majority of his career for the Kansas City Monarchs and was the first African-American coach in Major League Baseball and also worked as a scout. This is Buck in 2006, shortly before his death.
We always spring train in a black college town, and that's who we played in spring training, the black colleges. So when school was out, they came and play baseball. When baseball season was over, they'd go back to teaching, the coaching, or the classes. That was Negro League baseball. And I'm proud to have been a Negro League ball player. Yeah. And I tell you what, they always say to me, Buck, I know you hate people for what they did to you or what they did to your folks. I said, no, man, I never learned to hate.
Inside the museum are Satchel Paige's commandments for living the good life. Most black teams didn't own their own baseball parks. They rented, and in some cases were not allowed to use the white-only locker rooms, which means they had to dress before coming and not showering after games. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in 1947 with the Brooklyn Dodgers.
From 1947, the year of Jackie Robinson's debut, to 1964, New York appeared in 15 World Series.
And then between 1947 and 1959, close to 120 African-American and Afro-Latino players joined Major League Baseball teams. These are the barrier breaker players, those who were the first to join their respective teams. The center of the museum has the Field of Legends. One can walk onto a field adorned by nearly life-sized bronze statues of 12 figures from Negro League history. Crouching behind the plate is Josh Gibson. At first base is Buck Leonard, a teammate of Gibson with the Homestead Grays. In the outfield are Cool Papa Bell, Oscar Charleston, and Leon Day. And on the mound, perhaps the most famous Negro Leaguer of all time, Satchel Paige, who became a rookie in the major leagues at the age of 42 in 1948. A short walk from the museum, it's time to eat some of the very best Kansas City barbecue. Arthur Bryant's has been here on Brooklyn Street in downtown KC since 1949. Former Saipan resident John Kramer is from Kansas City.
Arthur Bryant's been going there since I was right after I was born, I'm pretty sure.
The decor is old school, Formica tables, fluorescent lighting, and jugs of barbecue sauce. And they cut the meat right in front of you.
You get in, you got to wait in line, but it moves pretty quick. And then you get in there and just watching it all happen. And the process is part of the great part, but I just love the meat.
They have takeout too, and it's definitely no frills.
Beef and ham, right? Yes, sir. All right, keep moving down. I got you. It has to go, right? You said what? I got you. What about you?
You get it all in there, not in any particular order. Meat, white Wonder bread, fries, pickles, more meat, barbecue sauce.
And they just slap it in there and they keep the line going.
Arthur Bryant's specialty is burnt ends, the flavorful end pieces of smoked beef brisket. Burnt end sandwiches are served open-faced at the restaurant. Its sauce is characterized by vinegar and paprika rather than sweetness, and sauce is king.
And we sat down and we got all the food, and Mr. Bryant came over to say hi to my dad, and we were eating, and we asked him if we could get some ketchup. And my dad went, "You do not ask for ketchup at Arthur Bryant's. It's all about the sauce."
If you are in Kansas City, the Negro League Baseball Museum, and lunch at Arthur Bright's is a pretty good double play combination. Kramer, who now lives in Guam, is wearing a KC Chiefs shirt, a Kansas City Royals hat, and keeps his Kansas City barbecue sauce close at hand.
I love Guam and Saipan barbecue too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not afraid to slap a little Bryant's on it. I always have a bottle of sauce in my refrigerator.
Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Here's the weather. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a 70% chance of showers with gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. Temperature lows of 76. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of scattered showers, highs of 86 and lows around 78. The sun will set at 6:01 p.m. and will rise tomorrow at 6:08 a.m. Now, I wouldn't gamble on it, but chances are that your alarm clock will work tomorrow morning. But I'm just as sure that the rooster will wake you just like he did this morning, and when he does, know he's just doing his job. And I will see you in the water or on the land.
Well, Saipan, that is news, sports, and weather. I will see you back here again on Friday night.